Every week's a big week. So we are sitting right in the middle of September right now. Today you had GDP come out for Great Britain month to month at 2 a.m. over here. It did not hit expectations. That was pretty much expected. Well, they expected a lot more than previous, but again, the economy in Great Britain right now is not doing too well. I'm sure a few of you guys can attest to this. Also, all over the world, right? For us, it's not doing too well. France not doing too well. Europe, especially when it comes to the energy crisis with Russia, they're trying to play a Cold War game, proxy war, when it comes to Europe and shutting off their energy. It's all like a Cold War strategy that they're using. So, uh, we missed the market, with a few of these data points coming out of Great Britain over here, but mainly the GDP is what they were looking for, and it did not hit expectations. We still saw a rise in GJ, but right now we are declining back to possibly 166, 200, where we could possibly retest and then retest the previous high that we just corrected, or just created during London. But moving into tomorrow, what we have, nothing much for today. When it comes to New York session or anything like that. Remember, it's Monday. You guys want to take it easy. If you see your setup, execute on it. But again, you want to make sure you're waiting for the correct setups. Now, looking over here tomorrow, same exact thing during London. You have average earnings index, claiming count change, and then unemployment rate coming out of Great Britain. So right off the bat, a couple big hits when it comes to economic data coming out of Great Britain. Moving into tomorrow during New York, we have CPI coming out, right? So this is going to be big when it comes to the Fed. They're going to be announcing interest rate hikes this month. So we'll see, but that's what's expected. But looking over here, also tomorrow morning, you got zoo economic sentiment, German zoo economic sentiment. Germany is the main economy in Europe, so that's something you want to pay attention to. We'll see what that data point comes out at. I know the only one that trades EJ in here is Jamie, which is traveling today, but that's something that he should be paying attention to. And then you guys that live in Europe as well, good thing to pay attention to. Looking at Wednesday now, again, third day in a row, you got CPI coming out of Great Britain, right? So we got a lot of big movers coming out of Great Britain this week. PPI coming out of the US, core PPI, GDP, NZD, is coming out quarter to quarter, and then unemployment data coming out of Australia on Wednesday. Looking at Thursday now we got core retail sales. You got Empire State Manufacturing Index, unemployment claims like always every Thursday. So we've been doing pretty well with unemployment claims as of late. I've been really back testing this and journaling it, making sure I understand the way gold moves. But I've definitely been able to catch the reaction to the move the last few weeks, which I like. So moving into later Thursday, China data coming out. You got retail sales. They have not been doing too well as far as their economy either, just because of all these COVID lockdowns. They're still in like major lockdowns right now. I saw like a crazy video the other day of like people recording this drone outside their window, telling them to stay inside. If they leave, they'll be arrested. They're now on lockdown. Like it's been like 2.5 years. I don't know how they're still doing this, but when it comes to a communist country, there's no surprise there. But looking at Friday, again, retail sales coming out of Great Britain. We have a lot coming out, right? So for GJ or GU or any of you guys trading any of these GBP pairs, this is a very important week. But moving into 10 a.m. on Friday, we have University of Michigan consumer sentiment and then inflation expectations. All right, so that's our economic calendar. Let's get into the charts. I'll have you guys break down some charts. We'll get better today, and hopefully we can catch a trade. I'm looking to see if GJ can continue up here so that we could grab something. Looking at the month or the monthly and the month of September, extremely bullish, right? Trust came in. You had some weakening of the Japanese yen again, so that's been really pushing a pair like GJ up right now. So right now we are sitting above that level, that 166 level that we kept projecting to the left a little bit. You'll see it on the lower time frames. We're now above that level, right? Looking at the weekly now, weekly ended up closing a very strong bullish candle last week, right? Next one created a bottom wick, passed the high of that candle, and continued up. So I pretty much grabbed this entire candle last night as I broke down in Discord. If you guys go over to private conversations up there, um, looking at analysis and breakdowns from yesterday. I sent GJ, EJ, and Gold over here. But this is what we were talking about as far as anticipating price to continue up here. Once this candle on the 30-minute and the 1 hour created a bottom wick, held this higher low in this area, and closed bullish, I knew that we could possibly be grabbing liquidity over here to then continue up and continue the bullish price action to continue back up to 166, 200. The only thing I was a little concerned about was creating some kind of a lower high somewhere in here and then continuing right back down because we already had this double top here at 166, 200. So we respected that and we've been bearish ever since coming down here, right? So when we did that, I thought that possibly since bouncing off of 164, 300 right down here, we were pushing up, creating these higher lows. I thought we could continue up, but then possibly continue down. But there was also a strong possibility, since we are in an overall bullish market, that we could be retesting this area once more. So that's where I ended up putting my take profit. So if you go back in Asian, this is what ended up happening over here. So my TP was hit around 1 a.m. last night. But this is what I was playing. I waited for this candle to create a bottom wick, past the high of that previous candle to continue up, right? And I had a wide enough stop loss below this area where I can manage this trade and be okay with price coming back to break even. I was pretty much asleep by this time. I didn't even check the chart just because I lowered my risk on this. It's Sunday. You want to be calm and patient with the risk. If price started coming back into this area and maybe like closing, breaking, and retesting this area right here, then you can start to manage risk over here. But just the pullback over here was just grabbing liquidity to continue right back up. But this is what we could have been talking about here, where we could have created this lower high and then continued from here. But it never did that, right? So again, looking at the daily looks great as far as breaking 166. Again, you guys know we've been creating these lower highs, lower lows over here and tapping 166 and rejecting multiple times. So what it looked like last night before Sunday opened was that we could be rejecting this area. That's what I was talking about. Hard rejection of 166, hard rejection, and then a very hard rejection coming all the way back below 160, right? So right over here with this price action, without this bullish candle here, it looks like we could very well create a top wick, flip bearish, and fill that wick right there. But right now, since bouncing off of 161, holding a very strong support, very bullish movement, we just get this pullback, and now we're continuing right back up. So our next zone here on the higher time frames on the daily is around 167, 730, right around this area, 700 would say. But we do have this wick as well around 167 flat, I would say, right over here, which we can very well show like a horizontal line. And that's our top wick that we just created. So we could very well retest that area or reject that area, fake this area out, and then possibly continue down. But we'll see. Right now, everything's bullish. So in creating these higher lows, this is that support I was talking about, 164, 300, where we ended up holding support, never broke structure, still bullish, consolidating a little bit and collecting orders, and then continuing up. Got this strong close above 166. This one just started pushing up, left a wick to fill. So are we coming back down into this level to possibly retest, hold support, and then continue back up? 1 hour. So we'll keep 166 marked off. We'll move this up to our previous resistance of 200. We have this high created. Where can we hold some kind of a support to continue back up into that area? Let's look at this trend line and see if it's accurate. Yeah, so tap twice. Always due for, another tap for a valid trend line, but right now we're just pushing up. 30-minute. Yeah, 30-minute hard rejection of this area, but this is what I'm looking to retest. So we'll see if we can come down into this area, hold support, and then possibly continue right back up. All right, we got how many pips in here? 75 pips. So even if price holds support somewhere in here, right, can we possibly grab something up there? You do have enough range for you to do something like that. Got about 50 pips. But I'd much rather see it come back down into this area to grab something else. Does that make sense, guys? What's up, Tiffany? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Steph.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to hear. Had a great weekend. Okay, so looking over here at the 15-minute, it looks like we're trying to hold this previous support. Looks like we created a low over here, held the support with this bullish candle. We come up, retrace, come right back down to that previous low, and now we're trying to hold support with this bullish candle as well. So we'll see if there's a good setup. Again, we have plenty of data coming out for Great Britain this week, so it's good to just kind of wait for your setups. It's always good to just wait for your setups and trade accordingly. Trade smart and trade patient. All right. So we'll see what kind of setup we get over here on the 15-minute. But mainly, I would pay attention to these 30 minutes. These wicks could worry you a little bit. We'll see if maybe we get some volume to push us through that area. But right now, I do like how we're holding support somewhere in this area to possibly continue up. All right. So moving on to gold real quick. Get a drink of water. All right. So gold, again, validating our thought process on bouncing between 1680 and I'll actually mark off 1700 here as well. This whole area right here has been being rejected multiple times. This whole zone, 1680 to 1700. We've been rejecting that multiple times over here, even to the left over here as well, right? So right now, what we ended up getting, actually, I'll look at the monthly too. Monthly, we pointed this out 2 weeks ago, where August ended up closing a strong bearish candle, but with barely a bottom wick, right, or no bottom wick at all. Next one created a bottom wick, passed the low of that candle right there, and then flipped bullish. Same thing happened over here pretty much with this bullish candle. So can we be continuing up from that area? Looking at the weekly now, again, we ended up retesting the low, getting a support held with that bullish candle close. Now this candle is creating a bottom wick. It looks like we're trying to pass that wick over there. Could we be coming at least back into 1750 before continuing down with a hawkish Fed, or we just continue through that area? Right? Multiple things could happen. But nonetheless, don't forget the sentiment, the fundamentals all push to a bearish gold just because the US dollar has been very strong with the Fed increasing rates. Now the dollar has rebounded a little bit, right? We've come right back below 109, 108. We're sitting right around 108, 100. So are we going to retest this previous support over here and now hold a resistance to continue down, get a further retracement? If that's the case, then you're going to start to see gold continuing back up past 1750 possibly and back into this previous main area of 1800. All right, so looking at the daily now, daily holding a nice support right in here. There's your support right there. Price coming up. We actually got a nice bullish candle close right here. Next one creates a top or bottom wick, flipping bullish and continuing up. Right, so we may have a nice trade today to play this move back up into this area and mirror that move. 4 hour. 4 hour again, holding support down here. Been creating higher lows over here, and we're now starting to approach our previous resistance and support over here to the left. So once you start to break that level, maybe we have an opportunity to take something right up here on the lower time frames. I don't know, but once we break that area, get that next resistance of 1740 right over here that you could be taking something in. Got about 100 pips right in there. And then after that, continue through 1750 and right up to that next resistance right over here. You're just looking at next levels over here. Clean moves, next level. Clean move, next level. All right, so again, can we play something in here? Because you got a fairly clean move back up to 1730. All right, looking at the 1 hour now. Again, higher lows being formed. We kind of consolidated last night. Got a liquidity grab. Where we held a higher low right in here. Broke through the previous resistance over here. And we've been pushing up into this resistance around 1730. All right, so we need to break that right here before continuing up. Now, you could argue that we had this previous resistance over here, right, that we ended up breaking. Now we're retesting to continue up. But again, do you have enough range in here to take anything? All right, so there is your support, previous resistance. I like this weak bearish candle close. What you ended up getting was a support held right here with that bullish candle. We come up, create this high, come right back down into the range, end up respecting this support, closing a very weak bearish candle. Next one creates a bottom wick, passes the high of that candle, and pre-New York volume is starting to push us up. But now we're starting to get into this whole area right here to the left. We have all that consolidation. Price is starting to close back into that area. But once you break that, you got a fairly clean move coming up this way. So just that. 103 pips right up there. Let's see our area to the left. See, it's, I would say right here would be an area that you want to target, right? Because you got that previous support right over here as well. Fairly clean move with this candle coming up, and you could very well mark it right here, which might be a good idea to take profit right there. You know, I'm just gonna do that just because that's pretty much my rules when it comes to marking off zones. It's just the next area. So here on the 30-minute, you get a fairly clean move coming up into 1732, almost 1733, I would say, that you can be grabbing over here once we break 1730 here to the left. All right, so price just pushing up. We get the 1 hour candle closing in 2 minutes, right? So we'll see how that closes. I don't think we have enough range personally. This, you know, it's up to you as well, but I don't think we have enough range to take price from here to here, right? I think you'd much rather wait for that close above, but we'll see. All right. What's up, Tiger?
Hey, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Doing good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. You have a good weekend?
Yep. Football Sunday.
Yeah, I had a rough one. Very rough
Oh,
day. Jets fan.
oh yeah. Rough start. No Zach Wilson.
Yeah, no Zach Wilson, and also just the offensive line couldn't get pass protection going. They were really moving the ball. We had like 100 something rushing yards in the first half, but just when it comes to the pass protection, it couldn't protect Flacco. Flacco wasn't doing himself any favors by just playing really weak, I would say. But defense showed up. They played really well. Just so happened to be the big explosion plays happened to be touchdowns. but hopefully they get that corrected.
Yeah, I didn't hear much from that game actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Jets.
It was a good game early on, very defensive. A lot of fireworks, I would say, in the beginning, but and they were containing Lamar for the most part, but then offense just couldn't get anything going. All right, so GJ and Gold are done. Does anybody want me to break down their pair, or would they rather break it down on the stream and basically get better? Who's the first volunteer today? Wow. Nobody wants that work. Anyone else? Super GJ.
I'll go last.
You'll go last.
I need to wake up first.
Some coffee in you. Oh, I've been playing around with my morning routine the last few weeks, just trying to like the original routine, it felt like I was just doing way too much as far as routine wise and not getting the work that I wanted in the morning because this is like my quiet hours. It's where like nobody's interrupting me. I can get my work done, stuff like that. I can even back test in the morning as well. But that routine felt like it took almost like an hour where I was just like doing the deck of cards, cold shower, which is all good. But like just too many meditating, stretching, all those things, and not enough like chart time, not enough actually like preparing for the market and stuff like that. So then what I tried doing the last 2 weeks was what I did was I peeled that back and I just literally like forgot all that stuff and just got on the charts, got on the market, paid attention to what was going on in the market at the time. Looks like we're holding support here. Um, and that was it. Basically, just grab a coffee, sit at your desk, and start getting work done. Now, I like that, and I liked how much work I was getting in the morning, but at the same time, you got to prime yourself for your day. You got to make sure that you're aligning yourself with your goals, reading your V2 MOM, at least get a quick workout in. So one thing I tried doing this morning was an ab workout, like a 5 minute ab workout where it's just nonstop. Your legs basically don't even touch the ground and you're just going at it. So I would go from that. That's the first thing I do when I wake up, other than read over my V2 MOM and all my goals and my standards for the day and all that stuff. So I go from that to the quick what's it called? The quick ab workout, then a quick cold shower, and then I'm right on the charts. So I think I found a happy balance. Again, you got to prime yourself for the day. I like the fact that you get right to your computer and start working, but before doing that, you got to get yourself ready for the day and make sure you have the right intentions for the day, which is super important. So if you don't have that, you're basically just getting to work right away, which is good, but at the same time, you're not focused on what you need to for the day. You're not primed is what I like to call it. Yeah. Tiger, hit some abs or something.
Yeah, 100%.
It's good. Like, and also the reason why I wanted to just focus on abs in the morning is because I get a full lift during the day. Like I get 2 sessions of cardio in before and after my lift. And then during my lift, I'm doing strength training and working on my, my joints are getting not strengthened, but they're taking a hit. Your muscles are taking a hit. You're gonna be tired after that. So if I'm doing a deck of cards in the morning and doing that, I definitely feel it in my shoulders and my elbows and stuff like that. Getting older, it's starting to feel some more things. But yeah, if I just do focus on abs in the morning and then I don't have to do them later in the day after my lift, that way I could get a complete hour and a half at the gym, uh, which is what I pretty much aim for. All right, so you guys see there's not that much volume in these candles. It looked like we were trying to hold the support here, which we still can. 30-minute candle did create a higher low and a higher high, but right now we are flipping bearish. So where are we going from here? This 15-minute candle did hold support again with that bullish candle, but right now we're just really struggling to get above this minor resistance here of 166,700. All right.
And what's your routine once you get onto your desk? Like, what do you
So
do first?
yeah, when I get to my desk, like this morning, what I did was I hopped on. I kept one window open on my computer of Bloomberg, the TV station. You could just, if you guys want, go to YouTube and then type in Bloomberg Live, and you could just watch it. You don't need like a um, cable. What's it called? Um,
Yeah, got it.
subscription or whatever you call it. It's live on YouTube for you. So I had that there. I journaled my trade from last night, and then what I did was I started reviewing trades that I've been successful with, and then also trades that I haven't been successful with that maybe I forced, maybe it was an experimental trade that didn't work out, or just losing trades that you want to review. So I journaled my trade from yesterday, and then I went right into that, and then also got myself ready with the economic calendar and understanding what's going on when it comes to Great Britain specifically after trust came in. I was reading an article over here, I think. I'll send it to you guys. It's a nice like forecast. It's the bedpan. Yeah, it was on Daily FX. This is a weekly technical US dollar forecast. Where is it? Here we go. So they were talking about like the focus for the week and stuff like that over here. What's to come for the economic calendar as well for Great Britain, but just talking about trust coming in, how the US GBP USD was pretty strong last week. We had a strong bounce because there was a slight decline on the US dollar, as I was just pointing out before. Let me send this into the chat. And I'll send this into how do you guys like Discord, by the way? I'm gonna be hopping on a Zoom with somebody later today to basically like, what do you call it? Just make everything a little bit more aesthetically pleasing and more organized in here. I tried making like a new what is this called? A new category over here for the sessions channels, and I feel like these are like basically our main channels that we're all talking in, but then you have all these channels as well down here. Also probably be adding more channels down the road. I don't know exactly what we could add, but we'll definitely be tightening this up and making it nice for you guys. So and then also I got to get the fundamental feed going when it
You
comes
can
to
choose the order of the channels in there,
where in
in
on
main
here.
channels. Here, you can choose the order in which they come. Yeah. Yeah, but you could put then the
Oh, okay.
channels we use the most. Maybe put general chat, announcement at the top.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You know what? That's a good idea. Let me just write that down. I'll do that today. Yeah, we'll put like general chat and I would say like fitness
Yeah, yeah, fitness too.
and analysis
Yep.
and breakdowns. Yeah, we'll put those. Okay, so Quinn always with the great suggestions.
Thanks.
Thanks, buddy. All right, so gold ended up pushing over here. We got that 15-minute candle close above resistance over here, and then we just pushed up to these previous highs over here, right? So right now we're sitting at a resistance. We need to clear that area and close above if we're going to be able to grab something from 1829 up to 1729 to 1733, that previous 30-minute resistance here to the left. All right. 30-minute. Yeah. Also drag that to the left. Definitely a significant area. All right. Quentin, you wanna break something down for us?
I was looking at gold right now. Maybe we're gonna get a 15-minute close below support, and then we have. Is it gold? Oh yeah.
This is gold over here.
Yeah, no, never mind.
What were you saying?
I was just looking at this formation of 1 hour bearish candles, and the current one may be breaking below the two previous ones and going down to 166 to 200 to
Oh, you're
250.
talking GJ.
Is it GJ?
Yeah, this is GJ.
Yeah, for
Like
sure. Yeah, for
166.
sure. Yes, that's GJ.
So you're looking for a retest right down here. Looking to grab
Yeah, 25 pips or something.
something from here and drive it up. Drive it up from
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm waiting for. I'd rather grab it from down here than grab it from up here. You know, you got more range. But these candles are very small. So we'll see what we end up getting. Do you want to break something down?
Could do that.
Or who's been struggling over here with the break? I mean, Dylan, you wanted to focus on levels, right?
Yeah, I'll do a breakdown.
Okay. This is Quentin. I feel like you're getting a lot better right now. So I'm trying to like see if we can focus on people that aren't doing as well as they could be and get them even better. So let you off the hook for a second. So Dylan, which pair do you want to break down?
I'll pick a random one. I'll pick NZD JPY.
Okay. Nice. All right. Okay.
All right, currently I see we're in like a bullish uptrend since the COVID drop that we had.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So I would just mark off the $88 price level since it's like right pretty close right where we are currently.
So like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Um I can see we have like support right around the $84 price range as well as long or and we have previous resistance. Yeah.
Do you have the your annotator tool?
Yeah, I have it out.
All right, cool.
But yeah, that's exactly what I saw right there. Kept going across. Um I mean even what was it, the 88? Yeah, even 88 extends all the way to the left as well. Um so that would be our first levels of resistance and support. Um I see the clean movement to at least on the monthly. Let me get something. clean movement, at least somewhere up into like this area here.
Okay. Like right here.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to move that around on the lower time frames, but yeah, something like that.
You just seeing this resistance right here?
Well, can you zoom out a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because right here you can see how like I can see price was like broke above that zone, broke back in, held it as resistance.
Yeah. No, it's a good job. That's your
Same.
next level right there.
Yeah. So yep.
Okay.
Um yeah, I would move down to the weekly, please, if you
Okay.
could.
Yeah.
All right, on the weekly, let's take a look here. Hmm. This range kind of looks a little hectic on the weekly time frame right
Yep.
now. But all right. Yeah, see, honestly, I don't know what my next move would be right here. I would look to refine these zones, but honestly, I would probably move this zone to like I don't know. I'm stuck right here on this weekly time frame. Do you want to just go to the daily time frame?
Yeah, no, that's okay. So what you have here is the you have a clear support, right? Price came back into this area and kind of like faked that area out only because you ended up holding support higher and a higher low in this area, right? So then you had basically like this whole area was like some kind of a resistance, and price is now starting to clear out of that area, right? We're starting to exit that area. This is the weekly, so obviously these are lower time frame resistances and candle body closes up here. So we got to see what ends up happening around the area. But what do we have here to the left? It's very choppy here on the higher time frame. So we gotta,
Yeah.
like you said, we gotta see what's going on the lower time frames because you could very well end up putting this right here with a fairly clean move past that area coming up into here. So let's see the
Hmm.
daily. Okay, so now the daily,
Yeah,
you
that looks.
have like that resistance right there, I'd say. Just because it's like safe, right? It's like, all right, we're clearing out of all these areas. Can you put it down here? Absolutely. You could put it
Yep.
right here if you wanted to. And it looks like, looking at these candles, it looks like this candle closed above these candle bodies over here, where these candle bodies just ended up rejecting this area hard. This one closed above, and then we held support in this area. And then we have this liquidity grab with the market open, and then prices now passing the highs of these areas, right?
Yep.
So then where do you want your next zone based on the price action to the left? Where do you see price going?
I could see price going to about. I would, because right above that $88 price handle, like 88.5, it starts getting really choppy. So I would probably target just like the 88 flat.
Okay.
I feel like would be a safer level.
Yeah, somewhere right in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
We're pretty much at that level right now.
Yeah. I know. The 89. I saw a lot of wick rejections right as you were pulling the screen away at the $89.
That's
Which
where
I'm
I would
sure.
have had it.
Yeah, I'm sure that looks a lot better on the lower time frames.
Well, like you got this clean move coming up, right? And then you start to get this whole resistance over here to the left. Again, we
Yeah.
could very well reject this level, which we may be doing now. But right now, you have this clean move that pushed through that area, right? Pushed right through from this resistance. So once you start
Yeah.
to, yeah, you got to break this area before continuing up and possibly retesting this area up here for a quick scalp. That's a good job right there. So again, like don't get discouraged from these breakdowns and some of these pairs that you guys pick. They're very choppy and they're difficult.
Yeah.
But the more you go through these difficult breakdowns, the better you're gonna get. So just embrace it.
Yep, for sure.
All right, this looks a little bit better now. What's this look like?
Prices making higher highs, higher lows.
Do you have a resistance right here that you want to retest?
Um, yeah, I would draw the resistance. What is that? 87.5, I would assume. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, you have this range. Price opens up on the market for Sunday Asian right down here. Strong bullish candle close, bottom wick rejection, flip bullish, and then this candle closes above that resistance. So can we hold support here to continue up? Looking at the 1 hour.
Yeah, the 1 hour right now, I'd say we could mark off like these highs right around here. Because obviously those are going to be our first targets.
Yeah. So now what do you see happening over here?
I can see like prices is trying to form bullish by holding that support, looking to flip, um, looking to break these previous candle highs.
Yes, sir. So this candle's flipping bullish right now in the 1 hour, 30-minute. We've been pulling back a little bit. This looks very much like GJ last night. All right, now we're pulling back, possibly holding support. So a big mover on these pairs is definitely the Japanese yen, which we could look over here. Looks like we are holding some kind of a support over here after a little pullback last week. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour is holding some kind of a support in here. So we'll see if price is going to continue back up that way. Because if it does, these pairs will get a further pullback. But yeah, this is it's a little tricky to be trading this right here.
Yeah,
Looks like we're pulling back into this area. Do you even have enough range to trade this? You got
yeah,
about
I
22
wouldn't.
pips now.
Yeah, I wouldn't really
What made you
because
pick
you
this
have to think
pair?
about first. I don't know, just a random pair. Like I
Okay.
saw, I've just been in just a random Telegram group chat that I don't really pay attention to, but I just like saw that someone was paying attention to it, so I was like, oh, I'll just look at that one.
Okay. And you were just talking about something before I asked that.
Oh, I said, yeah, I probably wouldn't take a trade within this range because you first got to focus on like your stop loss.
Yeah.
Like if your stop loss doesn't make sense, like I was looking at GJ this morning, like right before the stream started, um, and I was seeing like, let me look exactly again. It was kind of choppy on like 15 and 5, but there was like a wick fill. Yeah, 30-minute wick fill that actually happened, but it didn't even present a one-to-one opportunity. So I was like, yeah, this doesn't even really isn't worth my time taking.
Okay. Well, good shit, man.
So, but yeah, I definitely need to get better with the breakdowns and at least explaining my thought process behind them
Yeah,
and what I
that
see.
really helps when you're
Yeah,
just constantly like explaining to somebody else or explaining to yourself, all right, this is what I'm thinking, this is the rejection I'm starting to see. Are we holding support here? Can we retest the high? Start drawing up your plans on the chart. Like that's it. That's just how you get better. Is it tedious?
yeah,
Yeah, sometimes, but like you got to learn to find a love for it, which I think
yep,
you're slowly starting to get back.
yeah. I feel like I pick levels though that like have already been broken through in a strong manner, and then I try and put too much emphasis on those already broken levels. Like,
Uh,
for
in what
example,
ways?
like
Give me an
what's
example.
that? Like, well, I drew a zone on this chart when I was breaking it down, and you had altered it because you're like, well, this broke through really strong here. I would target like this level. I think it was when I was marking off like the $89 price level.
Oh, yeah, to the
Um,
left.
yep.
Yeah, now what you had made sense. Let's see. Here we go.
Yeah, because I said I believe what the 88.5.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you're like, yeah, this clean candle right here already like broke right through it.
Yeah.
The 89 would definitely be a better price range because like it's untested again.
This
Yes.
I feel like this level is something I would draw like a horizontal line at. Just to give me the idea that we have rejected this level a few times,
Yep.
right? So it's valid, but at the same time, this candle pushed right through that level easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so with volume, it looks like it had prices pushed right through that area. So maybe with volume over here to the right, the idea is that we should be pushing right through that as well. Plus, we're already right
Hmm.
at that level too. All right, so let's eat.
Yeah, and I noticed I've done this a couple times in the past as well.
You've done what?
Like marked off those levels and really like basically in a way thought those were my end all be all levels that I was looking to have hit, but then there was other levels really close by that were much sharper.
It, yeah, it just comes back to like trading what you see and not what you think. And it's
Yeah.
very easy to not do that. I want to redraw this level right here.
And two, like I want to when I do my breakdowns, I want to keep my charts as clean as possible or like at least I don't know the right words, but like I wrote on my whiteboard today, like I need to designate like my tools, so like my zones and like color coordinate them for like a time frame and stuff. That way, when I'm just looking at the charts, I already know like, all right, this color's for the 1 hour, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think somebody else in this group does that. Forget who it was, but they like to color coordinate like that.
Yeah, because like when you got all these freaking lines on your chart and stuff, like yeah, you're seeing what you're seeing, but are you like at least for me, sometimes I don't necessarily remember my thought process behind it when I'm drawing these levels and then looking back. So I just feel like that may help me out.
Yeah, my thought process on that has always been like it's kept me from not being lazy because it forces me like if I just have a horizontal line right here, like if I don't have a reminder that that's like the whatever level, right?
Yep.
now it forces me to go back and see what that level was.
Yeah, I see what you're saying as
So
well.
that's always been like my thought process, even from the beginning. Because I've seen people do that, like marking off this is the 4 hour wick and stuff like that, which is good to do, right? But then you start having like a bunch of lines on your chart. But I like having zones and then constantly going back to the higher time frames to see why I, drew those zones out. I feel like you get better.
Yep.
So good job on the breakdown. Right now, GJ is holding support by a thread, but still holding support over here. Weak 30-minute candle bullish close. 15-minute kind of just consolidating over here. It'd be interesting if we start breaking these wicks on the next candles. But for now, we're just kind of ranging. All right. Gold over here, as we talked about, we're kind of rejecting that level so far. Maybe we're getting some kind of a pullback back into here to continue up. 15-minute did close bullish here. Now we're starting to break that level. Yeah, I could see us getting some kind of a pullback. Strong area. Right here. So you just got to be aware of it. And this is what I'd rather be trading in. Guys, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. Somebody volunteer to break down the chart and I'll pull that one up for you. But just give me 1 second. All right. So, who wants to break something down? I'm gonna start calling you guys out.
I can do one.
Oh, good shit, buddy. Tiger hit his abs.
Yeah, I'm good to go now.
Good shit, man. All right. I'm sure you like this time zone, huh?
Oh yeah, it's a lot better.
Yeah. It's either living over here or in London. Well, not London, but Europe, I think, is the best place to trade. It's very difficult living in California, I think.
Yeah, it does force me to get up earlier, but
It does, but like if you get up at a certain time every day, like too early, like anything before 4 a.m., I feel like sets your whole day off.
yeah, a little
Where
bit.
you're kind of just like tired during the day.
It all depends on your night before.
Yeah. But if you can afford to take a 15, 20-minute nap during the day, it'll kind of make up for it and give you that boost of energy. But I don't like napping during the day. It feels weird. All
Sure.
right. Which pair would you like to go with?
I guess we can do like GU.
GU. This is a pair I actually wanted to take a look at today. Glad you chose.
It's dropping.
Oh yeah. It's been. All right. After you, my man.
Is there a way to draw zones from the annotates or
Yeah.
just
Yeah, so go to draw. You see draw on annotation.
oh okay.
And then the third one from the left on the top row.
Okay.
That rectangle. See it?
All right, so I think the first big level you have, it kind of extends pretty far back. You can go from here all the way through. That's kind of like your primary resistance.
Yes, sir. Perfect.
And then since price is moving pretty bearish, you can start marking off. Or this one's a little high, maybe a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since we're probably moving bearish, we're gonna be looking for some type of sells if after it creates some like a minor resistance or some type of retest, and then you can come to target this area down here from the wick.
Beautiful.
And then you can also consider this area here since we're on a higher time frame. It's gonna respect this previous wick down here.
Yes, sir. You already see it flipping.
Yeah, it's pretty good for that monthly.
Beautiful. All right, weekly.
Yeah, so on the weekly, it's basically respecting that level down here where it just retested. So we're probably gonna look to see if it creates some type of resistance and then it breaks back below that level to retest that bottom area at 106. But
106. Okay, yeah, down here.
yeah, right down there.
Okay. So you're looking for this support to break.
Yeah, so any type of break below that support.
So being that it's holding this support right here, what do you see happening right now?
So it's basically just retesting off that support, and then I'm not sure how far back it's gonna extend up to before it starts creating some type of like lower high, and then breaks below that support again, and that's when I'll probably start looking for entries unless it sets up for I don't know some type of prime entry before it breaks below that area.
Yeah, exactly. What I was asking, like, where do you think price is gonna probably pull back into before continuing down?
I think likely it could be sooner than later, so you could see it come pull back into this area create some type of resistance and then, create that lower high basically,
Beautiful.
since it'd be below this area here.
Yep. Yep. So this will be interesting to see what ends up happening. We have this whole area right here. Like you could technically draw this like that, right? We always like to do that, and then we'll bring it back to a thinner zone since it's so higher of a time frame. But it looks like this was our main supply zone or demand zone where price really tapped into this area, and then we got this hard bullish price action. Tapped in, hard bullish price action. Same thing here, we get the fake out of that area, and then we just push up. Right? So now we come into that area and we finally break through with this price action that hasn't happened yet, where we, consistently broke below with this price action, came up to retest, didn't continue up from there. What we did was we held a resistance to continue down, right? So price should be coming into this area possibly and then continuing down, especially if we get some more strength in the US dollar. I think this could just be this minor pullback. We'll see what the data comes out at with Great Britain this week with all these data points coming out. But again, I think this is just short-term bullish pressure from the US dollar being weak.
Yeah. I don't have any like bullish biases on it, but if we do get price maybe breaking above this area here and just closing above, then we have a possibility of taking a trade up to this level and filling basically this clean correction move right here.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be just like we got right over here. The fake out, price comes back into here, we retest this area, and then we continue right back out. Just like we did right here.
Yeah.
The history repeats itself. And we're not out of the smoke just yet. Once we break this support right down here, 1714 or 114, then we could probably be pretty much clear out of here. All right.
Yeah, and that's a good possibility too because price is really low right now. I don't think it's gonna go sub $1.
You don't think it's gonna go further down, you're saying?
It does have a possibility to go and retest this area, but I don't think any further than that. It doesn't make it's just too far down.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much multi-year lows over here to the left. This is back in 1984. So a lot's gotta happen for us to break that level. But we're coming close. We're coming the closest we've been since then, right? At that area. So we'll see what ends up happening when it comes to raising interest rates and the global economy, Great Britain's economy, US's economy. All depends on those things. But that's a great job so far, and I love the fact that like once we break things down, the back and forth discussion, and that's what we all need to be having. It's just like talking, and don't be afraid, like the other guys too in the group. Don't be afraid to speak up when someone else is doing their breakdown, just so we could discuss further ideas and what you guys are thinking. That's how we all get better. But moving on to the daily.
Yeah.
All right. I'll move this back for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so pretty much looking at the daily, I mean, we're in that bearish downtrend and it's already respecting the support pretty heavily too. So there's a strong possibility that hold on, let me see. Do that price is pretty much just gonna retest this area, and then possibly you can get like some type of break above it and then a retest.
Nope.
Yeah, if you get a nice close above, then maybe wait for a retest right down here. Doesn't draw it. It's not.
What's up?
It's not capturing my arrow, but basically, yeah. All right, there. So you get some type of retest, and then you get like a nice break above here. Damn. Yeah, it's a nice break above here, and they come and retest this spot right here.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we would need some really further push over here on the dollar. Like the dollar needs to be forming these lower highs and lower lows. Right over here. So if we just keep respecting that bearish structure, you're going to start to see more pullbacks here on a pair like GU. But if not, if we hold support on the dollar, then look for some kind of a resistance anywhere in these areas. All right, like right up here, even right down here, we could get something. Also right over here or right over here. Anytime we can form some kind of a resistance and price just pushes down from there.
Yeah.
Now also let's see if we have any trends. Our price has been respecting. So we've been respecting this like little channel over here, descending channel over here, right here, where we could possibly be meeting up with this area or coming at least close to it, maybe consolidating to it, and then continuing right back down to 115 to retest the previous low as well. So anything below this previous resistance is going to be bears. But if we break above this area, you want to make sure you break and retest this area before continuing this thing up. But once we do, if we do that, I would definitely expect 122, 122, 3 or 4 to be retested in this area.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we end up getting.
Yeah, I think buys are cautious just because of the counter trend to it.
Yeah.
I do like that idea of price basically coming up, rejecting this area, is kind of creating some type of like trend line, like previous support resistance type of convergence.
Yeah.
And then, from there you get a nice, break back up down below here to retest just this low.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the thing with trend lines. Like I would say, like you, and not just me, and anyone would say that a valid trend line only meets, or not only, but a valid trend line meets up 3 times, right? It gets tapped 3 times in the market structure, for it to be valid. Now, don't be afraid to draw one if it only meets up 2 times, because that's what's going to be showing you like, okay, if this thing is actually valid, it's going to be basically bouncing off where I think it's going to bounce off, and that makes it that 3 touch point valid trend line. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people only draw them when it taps 3 times instead of 2 times. But if you can keep that and know that that trend line is subjective, and only pay attention mainly to your support and resistance, having it only touching 2 times as a trend line and anticipating it to tap 3 times is pretty powerful. Like that's going to help you a lot because now you can predict where price is going to go, using another confluence other than support and resistance.
Has this one already tapped 3 times? I didn't even see
I would say this only taps twice. So right
twice.
over here is where it started. We really don't even have to have that over there. So it really like started right there. It came very close over here, but didn't get that legitimate touch because this price action came all the way out here, right? If you could very well draw it like that if you want, which would actually kind of make sense right over here. But again, it doesn't cover the full, like, what's the point of having this pop out like that, if that makes sense? Other
Yeah.
than the fact that maybe we could meet up right over here, which I could definitely see happening, and us getting like a little fake out of this area and then continuing down from there. But this, as you've mentioned, is a very strong support.
Yeah.
All right, so we need a lot for price to push down over there. But yeah, this could make sense, and I've seen trend lines or drawn trend lines many times like that. But to me, it's just like, what's the point when we could get an even more valid trend line over here, and we could get that third touch in this area, and then continue down, and that makes it stronger.
Yeah. And
There's
I
no
think
point.
the one before it also just kind of confirms that it's like a non-tradable area.
Yeah.
So you don't want to take any type of unnecessary risk scalping it back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's look at the 4 hour now. See what we got going. Oh, I just removed everything back. So, all right. Any adjustments
Um,
or new trend or new levels?
I'd probably just readjust this zone that it's currently touching right now, maybe something up here, or maybe a new zone right here that can just show that prices could possibly respect that area.
I like that you would do this. The previous support, you got this range up here. You have a resistance that ended up respecting it after creating this low. We end up retesting this area. Then we get the heavy bearish price action coming down into the support before getting the heavy bounce. We get a little bit of a fake out coming into here after holding support right over here. And now price is continuing up from that area. So again, let's see. I just want to see from here now. See, that's a 3-tap trend line. If you're looking at the 4 hour trend right now, bouncing off of 122.5 up here, we tapped 3 times over here, and now you're starting to see the bullish structure starting to form. Right? You get this support held, then you get the fake out, and then you get the other previous support held right over there, and now price continues up from that area, breaking the trend line, and now you're starting to see that bullish pressure. Oh, right over here.
I think that's
Right.
also a pattern too. A lot of people like call this area like some type of like inverse head and shoulders,
Yep.
just to kind of establish that bullish support price action type of thing.
100%. Yeah, there's many different names for price patterns and stuff like that. I don't necessarily use them. I know a lot of people trade based off of them. Like I'm only going to trade a head and shoulders, stuff like that. I don't really look at them that way. I just know
Just
of them. I
recognize
know,
them.
after reading Naked Forex, you know what these double tops. I pay attention to double tops, especially on like the higher time frames, because they really help you understand where price is probably going to be going.
Yeah.
All right. So after this bullish candle close, what level did we break and where are we going from here?
So this is area right here that's kind of respecting
Okay.
right there. And then
Okay.
we broke this area and got a nice close above, really strong close too. So likelihood you can just continue.
Yes, sir.
Just gonna
Yes, sir.
continue through
Now,
this area and then we just tap into this area. And hopefully if we get a nice break and close above, this area right here, then any type of break close above,
absolutely.
just grab a retest right here. And then just
I think what we're doing is we're getting weaker price action on the US dollar right now, and that's what's pushing us up. Like that was a very strong candle close right here. Right now on the 4 hour, getting a bottom wick formed, this candle's flipping. We have about an hour and 5 minutes for the next 4 hour candle to close. Right, so can we end up flipping bullish passing the high of the previous candle and continue up into this area? We can if the dollar over here does what we think it's going to and hold this resistance and retest the low over here. Because you're starting to see gold. Wrong one. Starting to see gold over here continue up. Looks like we cleared that area with a very strong bullish candle close through these wicks. This candle's creating a bottom wick, passing the high of the previous candle. Now we have about 5 minutes left for the 1 hour candle to close over here. So maybe if instead of taking that impulse entry based on the 15-minute and possibly getting trapped, which I could see somebody doing, I would rather wait for the 1 hour candle to close above this area right now, right? And continue. And this is what we were talking about before. We got the strong bullish candle close. This candle created its bottom wick, past the high of that candle. We ended up filling the area we were talking about, and you could be leaving a runner right now, if that was the case, right? But again, it's a Monday. We just wanted to live back test this and see if we were going to push through these areas because we could have very well rejected. But with how weak the US dollar is here, that is what's pushing us through. We got that volume to push us through right now, getting close to New York Open. So again, look for that 30-minute, look for the 1 hour to close above here. Let's get the retest of this area, and so we don't just fake this area out, and hold support to continue right back up to 1732, 1733. All right, back to this. You want to look at the 1 hour? 1 hour looks great, Tiger.
Yeah.
Okay, after you.
Yeah, so this resistance right here is still pretty valid so
Yes.
far through it.
I would probably just like move it up a little bit.
Yeah, so kind of retest this high here. And then you see that, price is kind of creating like this type of minor support that's kind of helping price push through it. So I'm not entirely sure if this is something. Yeah, you said it's only about like 5 minutes or 3 minutes before the next 1 hour close. So we're gonna see the 1 hour close right here, and it might be slightly above this resistance, and then maybe just wait for a retest, and then you have this entire area here to possibly take a buy.
Yep, exactly. That's one thing I would love to see, and I love this setup too. I've executed this setup multiple times where you get this high created, we come down, close a bullish candle where we rejected this area, long bottom wick, hold support. This candle respects the low, pass the high of that candle, and take this up. Now, if you didn't take this yet with your stop loss down here, the only issue is you do have that resistance right there. But right now with volume and a weak US dollar, we're pushing up. So I think we could probably get that 1 hour candle to close above this resistance right here. I'll actually just like move this right here because it's more immediate. Let's see if we close above that area, and if so, next candle creates a bottom wick rejection, past the high of it. We got a fairly clean move over here to the left. Then we could take price up into 117,400 or 500 up here. We can actually make that a little bit smaller. That's our immediate resistance right over there.
You can even set maybe like some, or can you zoom out one more time? Yeah. So maybe there's some areas here that you can possibly start just
Yep,
taking off some partials from that.
100%, 100%. So we could draw like something like that right there, and then at least from here to here, you do have 28 to 30 pips. Right up here, probably about 40, yeah, 45, 50. All right, so keep your eye on this. Let's see if we close above. All right, if you guys don't trade this pair, live back test it. But if we close above, I want to see the next candle create a bottom wick, past the high of the previous candle, and continue up. Now with New York volume, if this candle closes below that resistance, it's going to be weaker. Well, it closed below. But if this one creates a bottom wick and passes the high of that candle, with New York volume and a weak US dollar, right? Especially if this candle creates a top wick past the low of that candle, we should continue through here with a clean move to the left. Right, so let's see if that ends up happening. Again, I'd rather see that candle close above that area because now we could just consolidate. But if this candle creates a healthy bottom wick, past the high of that candle, you start to see the volume. You could at least grab 10 pips right here. You should be able to, with your stop loss. Maybe depending on how healthy this bottom wick is, maybe below this 1 hour wick. See the 30-minute. Yeah, 30-minute closed below over here. But again, that's a very strong candle. Got a little bit like of a fake out over here. We could very well continue through that area. But Tiger, that was a great breakdown, man. Again, I love the discussion. Dylan, you did the same exact thing. You were breaking things down, and then we were just talking about the pair and just floating ideas back and forth. That's exactly what this needs to be. These breakdowns. It can't just be like, I want my level here, I want my level there.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, so gold just took off over here. Look. Now at this 1 hour candle, again, like that's one thing that we could pay attention to is the strength of the US dollar during pre-New York, or the lack thereof strength of the US dollar during pre-New York over here, and how, like, I'm looking at this area right here too on gold. They're right in this area. You see how we have resistance, resistance, rejection right there, rejection right there, kind of held support in this area too, over here. And then we ended up rejecting, but then closing above and then retesting that area right there, right? So like this looks like an area for me that you could possibly be safe putting your stop loss below that wick right there and entering right here. So something like this. Again, you risk the chance of a rejection of this area right over here, but again, like we still did close above this area. Like this could have very well been your zone right here that we ended up closing above over here with that candle, right? This was just almost like a fake out. So now you're anticipating if this candle creates a bottom wick and past the high of the previous candle, you can enter right there, anticipating price to push through this area. Again, this doesn't always happen on a Monday where you get this hard volume push going, but we have a weaker US dollar right now. It's coming back down a little bit. So we could very well anticipate this. Does that make sense? I know not all of you guys trade gold, but it's just a good idea to keep in mind if you guys are looking at gold and plan on trading it down the road. This is something great to backtest and just take note of. Constantly getting better at your craft every single day. Being curious, asking why, you know? All right. Let's see. Anyone else for a third breakdown? Sure, Jill, you wanna hop up?
I just got into a position on GJ.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Tiger creating that bottom wick, starting to pass the high of the previous candle. GJ is holding support right here. I actually do like that a lot too. Holding support on the 15-minute. Yeah, that's something I would be inclined to take as well. Here's my profits from yesterday.
I think you have a better stop loss on GJ too.
Yes. Saber stop loss. Okay. Here's my entry. Stop loss is below the support right over here. TP is right up here. So you're looking about a little bit more than a 1-to-1. Great job, Sharjeel. It's a great setup. Now we got the volume pumping in. All right, so now we journal this as well. This was today. So now we're starting to flip a little bit. Not a time to panic. We're just retracing a little bit. That's okay. You're not gonna go crazy after that. I do like this bullish candle close. I like the fact that we created a bottom wick past the high of that candle. But we do still have this level right here that you want to be aware of. All right, so we'll just draw a little resistance right there. We can still end up rejecting that area. But 30-minute looks great with these bottom wick rejections. But if price is going to hold the support and continue up to retest that high, then should be okay. There's that 5-minute resistance. Now, exit plan for this trade is if this 15-minute candle closes bearish, right? Depending on the strength of it as well. This 15-minute closes bearish, I'll be closing 50% and let the rest of it run. Okay, so I created. All right.
Sorry, I
I'm
was in, I
coming
was in
down
that
over here.
gold trade.
What's up?
I was in that gold trade,
Oh,
so
were you?
yeah,
Okay. How did it play out?
good plus 30
Okay.
pips, so 1-to-1.
Good
Happy with
shit,
that.
man. Good shit. This is
I'm
what
I'm getting more comfortable with gold now.
good. You've been back
Previously,
testing?
yeah, back testing a lot. 1 hour a day, gold, just
Beautiful. And
in there.
that's where you feel like you're really making strides after the back testing?
Yeah, 100%.
Good stuff, man.
There were times where I thought it's not important back testing, so it's kind of it puts things into perspective of how important it is and how inclined and in tune you can be with that pair. Whereas previously I'd be very hesitant to enter on gold,
Yeah.
and then the move will just happen, and then I'll be, FOMO creeps in and make the wrong decisions. But now everything sets up, and I, in the back of my mind, I'm saying to myself, I saw this yesterday on the backtesting session, and it's setting up the same way. I'm going to take it. So
Okay.
helps a ton.
Yeah, I mean I've never understood the thought process of back testing not being important. You know what I'm saying? Damn, this thing really faked us out a little bit. That's why it's important to wait for closes above that level over there. Yeah, I think price wants to come back down into this area once more. So impulse entry, I cut 50. Impulse entry after 30-minute candle created bottom wick after a strong bullish. Close with wick to fail. Sharjil, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I just closed half once the 1 hour low got broke.
I closed half. Where are we? Right around here. Close 50. Because we were really pushing down. I was waiting for this 15-minute candle to close bearish, but we were really pushing down over here, which told me we were really rejecting that area. We want to come down even more. Right? So, no, I did. All right. Where do you go? All right. Sometimes they don't play out, and that's okay. Right. When it comes to these, understanding, I say it all the time, but you gotta understand that you're gonna take losses on ideal setups. Right. This is a high volume time. It was a good setup. High was created. We come down, hold the support, and it looks like we're pushing up. A lot of times with New York volume, once this bottom wick's formed, we pass the high of that candle, we push up. But these wicks, it looks like we're very rejecting, right? Like we really needed to close above that level right here before continuing up. So it's a little bit different of price action. Let's see. So wanna That's also one thing we didn't do is we didn't go back up to the higher time frames before entering that trade. To see like the 4 hour coming back down. Right, we created this high, 4 hour created a top wick. We started to retrace a little bit. It did look like the 4 hour is going to flip bullish and continue up, but it looks like this 166 200 level definitely wants to get retested. Take a daily picture. GJ on 25 pips loss.
GU starting to push.
Is it? Let's go look at that then. Yeah, there you go. So this was that trade we were just talking about. Valid stop loss below this candle. We passed the high of the previous candle over here with the volume. It needs to be at high volume time. We should push up. And what did we say? 10 pips, right? Once you pass the high of that wick. So we hit about 9, I would say. Stop loss is about 11 pips away. Or it would be about 10 pips away, right below that candle. All right. So now to manage this trade, if this candle ends up closing below this level here, it's an invalid trade, probably. Most likely. It should be closing above, and this should be a valid stop loss. Can you put it below this candle? Absolutely. That'll make it safer, but you need a big enough target for you to hit that. This could just be a quick scalp. It doesn't need to be that big. All right, so GJ is coming back down. That tells me there's short-term strength in the Japanese yen. Because both these pairs, GJ and GU, have been mainly moved by the secondary pair or the secondary currency in the pair. Right? They've both been moved by the Japanese yen for the most part on Great Britain. right? Because they have a weak economy. It's not like they're really strong right now. Same thing with the US dollar. US dollar or GBP USD, it's been going down because the US dollar has been so strong. All right. Sure, Gio, how'd you manage risk on that? Are you happy with it? Could you have done it better? I could definitely see us coming back down this way a little bit more. Come back into that area. Yeah, gold really pushed over here. See some of our other pairs. Euro USD. Euro GBP. Looking at US 30 over here. We're really rebounding. We had this, hard push down middle of August, coming all the way back down to 31,000. Yeah, 31,000 holding support. And so far, we're creating these higher lows. Third time we're tapping off this trend line and continuing up from here. But right now, we're starting to approach a previous support. Can we hold it as a resistance as we did right over here? All right. 4 hour. Again, we're sitting right at a resistance right now. Held this support previously. Can we push through that with a clean move over here to the left? I can see us rejecting this level hard, maybe even breaking below this area, and then coming into here, actually right in here, holding a support in this key area, and then continuing back up from here, and then that'll be a move. All right. Get 1 hour. Starting to break below, fill this wick, pushing below over here. I can see it coming back down into the support. Tiger, you paying attention to options and everything. Do you ever look at US 30?
Not really. It's mostly the SPY.
You said not really what?
I mostly just look at the SPY.
Oh, okay. All right. USD JPY coming down here a little bit. Coming back down from these highs created. Now we're getting a little pullback on the Japanese yen. Here you go, the dollar's dropping over here. Yeah. Getting the support held on the Japanese yen, pushing up. Any kind of consolidation from a bearish trend over here, like right here, where we were just pushing down, then we just consolidated over here, or some kind of a retracement, right, where we continue back up from that area or that low that we created, you're always going to see any kind of JPY pair being bearish, right? Because you're seeing the strength in the Japanese yen. Again, like I said, even if it just consolidates like it is pretty much right now, unless we break that resistance. Damn. See right here on US oil, I'm looking at how this candle ended up closing like a weak bearish candle right at this previous resistance. All right, we ended up rejecting this area, closing a weak candle. This one creates a bottom wick, flipping bullish over here. Are we going to hold support in this whole area and continue up? Which I would not like. Yeah, 4 hour or daily over here, looking like we're like faking that area out and continuing up from here. Yeah, solid support formed right there. Very strong bullish candle close. Where are we going? Dylan, you're trading GJ, right?
Yeah, I'm just watching though today. I'm not in anything.
Okay.
I like the gold move that we had set up, but then it just pushed right through. Like,
Yeah.
didn't really give us anything to do in it. But so it is what it is.
Did you understand how it moved, like what I was talking about with the with this level over here?
Yeah,
And how we've rejected multiple times. And then we finally cleared above, retested it with this candle and just pushed through.
yeah.
So with New York volume, especially on the 1 hour, created a bottom wick past the high of that candle. That was a nice push. All right. Does anyone have any questions? Again, it's only Monday. You guys want to stay patient. We just took a loss here on GJ, which is completely cool. What you want to do is just internalize that, learn from it, journal it, see what you could have done better. Again, the first thing we already saw was could have waited for the 15-minute at least to clean and close above this level, right? You want to journal this and keep this in your arsenal because you could end up seeing, if you go back in your journal, you might end up seeing 3 or 4 losses taken the same exact way on the same exact setup, where you never waited for the candle to close above that level and price just ended up rejecting that area, right? So the more you see that, the more it's going to force you to continue to wait for closes above that area, right? So again, we'll see if we end up clearing out of this area. Looks like we're trying to hold support right here, kind of grab liquidity before continuing up, but we'll see. It's only the 15-minute. 30-minute is a strong bearish candle so far. 1 hour. It looks like we're coming back down into here to continue up, which is what I'd want to happen. No questions, guys? You guys are all good?
All good.
All good. All right. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna hop off again. It's only Monday. Stay patient. Stick to your plan. You guys should be reviewing your plan before you trade anyway, every single morning, just to get yourself familiar with it. As you guys get through your trading careers and you guys get more and more comfortable and you read that every single day, eventually you get to the point where you don't have to read that every single morning, right? It becomes engraved in your mind, and that's your Bible. It's memorized at that point. It's all just habit at this this very stage of your career. But until then, just keep reading over it and sticking to it. But guys, I encourage you guys to have a very productive day. It's Monday. Start your week off right. Get your daily must done in a record time. If you could time yourself throughout the day, see if you could get it done. Let's say you did it on Friday by 5 p.m. Now try doing it by 4 p.m. And just go to bed tonight better than you woke up. All right?
Sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely, man. Let's continue this tomorrow, keep the momentum going, and hopefully get some wins tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Hey, pray for my Seahawks today.
What was that?
Pray for my Seahawks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, are they playing tonight?
Yeah, against the Broncos.
Geno Smith. I got
Broncos are gonna smoke them.
Yeah, probably.
I got DK on my fantasy team. So I need Geno Smith feeding him the rock.
What? You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what happens.
Hey, listen, I'm rooting for him. I hope I hope Geno does well.
We're gonna give Russell Wilson a good welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be interesting. I mean, something tells me that he's gonna go all out. But
That's personal
who
for
knows?
me.
Who knows, man?
Yeah.
All right, boys.
All right, then.
All right.
Great day, all
See ya.
right? Thank you.